I have a wild breaking news story for you all. Vice President JD Vance's life was put at risk by his own administration's sloppiness and recklessness. Governor Gavin Newsom has spent the past week warning the Trump admin and the people of California that if they launch these artillery shells near this highway, it is going to put lives at risk. Governor Gavin Newsom even went so far as to close this highway down in order to protect people, and the Trump administration decided to make fun of him and say he was being a bedwetter. They said he was whining. Yet Governor Gavin Newsom was right, because we now know that after the artillery shell detonated prematurely, live shrapnel rounds hit JD Vance's security detail. I want to walk you through this, but just the New York Times article that broke this says, artillery shell detonated over Interstate 5 during Marine celebration, California officials say. A 155 millimeter shell fired during the live fire demonstration for the 250th anniversary actually prematurely detonated, dropped fragments of the shell onto a highway patrol vehicle that was part of JD Vance's protective detail. That is absolutely insane, and Governor Gavin Newsom has been warning about this. So just yesterday, the Trump account, the official Trump rapid response account, said, Newscum is lying. He closed the highway. Not only did nobody at the White House or the Marines ask him to do so, but the Marines repeatedly said there were no public safety concerns for today's exercises. One more time, this admin said there are no public safety concerns with any of today's exercises. They then say, Newscum lies and tries to make it about himself, day ending in Y. So they're trying to say that Governor Gavin Newsom is lying because Newsom was claiming, hey, you know, the White House is trying to launch live munitions near Camp Pendleton, and that is going to put people's lives at risk. MeidasTouch actually broke that original story, and a lot of people were doubting them, saying, no, you guys don't know what you're talking about, but it ended up being true. So then Governor Gavin Newsom said yesterday, the CHP and highway safety experts are saying what any person with common sense knows. It is not safe for people to drive on a major freeway at high speeds directly under live munitions. White House not communicating, endangering the public, and then trying to blame the governor for doing the right thing, keeping people out of harm's way. Yet another day living in Trump's authoritarian America. Hey, one of the key tenets of authoritarianism is hypermilitarization along with hypernationalism or ultranationalism. We see hypermilitarization in the cities of Chicago, the cities of Portland, the city of LA, and now they are putting people's lives at risk with live munitions. This is batshit crazy. Governor Gavin Newsom then said, Donald Trump and JD Vance put lives at risk to put on a show. If you want to honor the troops, open the government and pay them. We also have photos that just dropped from MeidasTouch that show breaking. Live munitions from a Trump-Vance military demo flew over I-5 and struck a CHP vehicle. That vehicle was protecting JD Vance. We'll get into that in 1 second because it gets crazier. By the way, if you appreciate the videos and the debates that we've been doing and you want to stick around for the crazy debate show we have dropping along with my Jubilee episode, make sure you're subscribed to the Adam Mockler feed below. We're going for 2 million subscribers. This says, the White House wanted the highway open, but Governor Newsom shut it down for safety. That decision likely prevented injuries, or worse. We have obtained these photos, and these are the photos of the shrapnel that ended up hitting a vehicle. Imagine if there was a mother driving her kids home and that went through their windshield. This says, a 155 millimeter artillery shell fired during a live fire demonstration for the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Marine Corps at Camp Pendleton was prematurely detonated, and fragments dropped of the shell onto a car and motorcycle with the California Highway Patrol that were part of the protective detail for Vice President JD Vance. They made fun of Governor Gavin Newsom, and it put JD Vance's life at risk. A patrol report obtained from CHP stated that no officers were injured, thankfully, with one officer describing what sounded like pebbles hitting his motorcycle and the area around him. That is terrifying. While 2 others saw a 2-inch piece of shrapnel hit the hood of their patrol vehicle, leaving a small dent. Afterwards, shrapnel was found on the road near the motorcycle. That could genuinely kill somebody. The vehicles involved were parked on a major off-ramp for Interstate 5 near Camp Pendleton. a 17-mile stretch of which had been ordered to be closed by Governor Gavin Newsom after he was informed that during the ceremony they'd intended to fire live munition rounds over the highway, which is one of the busiest roads in America. What is this administration doing? They're very, very clearly trying to terrorize blue cities like Chicago, terrorize blue cities like LA, and go against the explicit will of Governor Gavin Newsom, Governor J.B. Pritzker, therefore putting people's lives at risk. People in Chicago, where I live, I'm in LA right now, actually, funny enough. I'm in the other place Trump is attacking, but I live in Chicago. People don't feel more safe now that the National Guard is there. I'm in LA. LA, of course, has problems with homelessness and crime. I mean, it's undeniable. So does San Francisco. But what's the military going to do? What kind of long-term solution is that other than just being straight up authoritarian? Ted Lieu then says, there is literally no reason to fire live artillery shells over an American highway. Totally stupid, reckless, and bizarre actions just to make JD Vance feel important. The same mindset that calls like environmental protections woke or regulations woke or any sort of safety protocols during a pandemic, during a live firing show, the same people that call it woke or whatever are now putting people's lives at risk. I kind of miss the woke administration. Ron Filipkowski says, the Trump White House spent all weekend ripping Gavin Newsom for being concerned that this stunt by Hegseth and Vance could endanger people driving in one of the busiest highways in America. These idiots are going to get people killed. Very, very true. And can I point out, Donald Trump has spent the past 24 hours, along with JD Vance, literally just posting memes about one of my friends. You guys know Harry Sisson, right? He's quite famous in this space. Trump posted an AI video of him literally pooping over America. And after the dump, the poop is released. This is disgusting. It hits my friend Harry Sisson. It's just awful. Harry Sisson then said last night, can a reporter please ask Trump why he posted an AI video of himself dropping poop on me from a fighter jet? That would be great, thanks. Then JD Vance said, I'll ask him for you, Harry. Why is the administration targeting random content creators when they're literally putting people's lives at risk? And it's funny because Donald Trump tried to make a joke about flyovers hurting American people and poop being dropped on American people, yet today, what we saw was a flyover literally almost hurting his own vice president. Governor Gavin Newsom immediately responded by saying, we love our Marines and owe a debt of gratitude to Camp Pendleton, but next time, the Vice President and the White House shouldn't be so reckless with people's lives for their vanity projects. Lieutenant Colonel Lindsey Pierrick, a spokeswoman for the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force, said the Corps were aware of a report of possible airborne detonation and an investigation is underway. Quote, we're committed to determining the incident's root cause and applying findings to future missions. This administration is very clearly just trying to intimidate blue states, but blue states like California are carrying the country on their back. Don't forget that. California would be one of the largest GDPs, would have the largest GDP in the world as a state if it were its own country. So we need to take a stand. We need to be clear. Make sure you subscribe below if you're ready for this Jubilee debate and this new debate show. Next time there's a No Kings Part 3, we won't forget this. We won't forget this flyover and this intimidation. We will have a No Kings Part 3. I love you all, and peace out.